If you guys get anything out of this video, man, just know all you need to learn is the basics just to pass the test. That's it. YouTube, what's good, family? Today, I will be explaining to you guys how I manifested my CDL. Now, before you guys start getting into the thing of how did you manifest your CDL, there's no way you manifested the CDL or whatever. I'm gonna just go ahead and explain to you exactly what I did. In one of my previous videos, I talked about me having this up and down moment or whatnot of me trying to get my CDL, right? So I ended up basically enrolling into my CDL school, which is Sage Trucking, in the year of 2024, January of 2024. And I just now got my CDL this year. And I believe it was this month, last month in February or January of 2025. But when I refocused on it with the knowledge and the understanding that I have now, I got it within 2 weeks. That's quick. So I started out, I'm not going to go down the whole line of everything that went on. Just know that I was operating in a low vibration, and everything that I was receiving at that time, past tense, hindered me from focusing and being in alignment with getting that CDL. So I'm going to talk about what I did to get my CDL, right? So I watched multiple videos. I watched like maybe 50 different videos, right? And me watching all of these videos, I still couldn't get to the point of realizing how I need to do this. Like what steps do I need to take? Like, is this right? How will the instructor test me? How like what is the step-by-step thing that the instructor is going to test me on so I know what to do? So I'm watching all these videos, everyone's talking about do this and then do this and then you do this, and everyone's doing it in different ways. Some people are doing their pre-trip inspection on the outside first and then the in-cab last. Some people are starting out doing the in-cab. Some people are starting from the driver's side to the passenger side on the outside. I'm like, yo, what am I supposed to, like, what is the sequence here? What is the correct order? And I became very frustrated, right? Something just hit me in my mind. It was like, ask the instructor to let you record them. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people or a lot of instructors do not like to be recorded. And that is a big thing. I won't say luckily, because the path that I'm on, the things that I'm attracting are for me because I have created them. So he let me record them. And I recorded them, but then it's like I have this whole almost like 30-minute video of in-cab and an outside of doing a pre-trip inspection. How am I supposed to go about this? How can I remember this? Am I supposed to take notes? Am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to do this? And here I go again, watching videos, how to do this, how to do that. What are people doing? There are some people talking about they're watching videos and taking notes on the videos that they watched. Man, look, I just completely let go. And at this point in time, I was learning a lot more about who I am, being a creator, being in control of my reality, right? I just let go. And I just started conducting myself like I'm good. Everything is good. Everything is well. I already have my CDL. Something just started hitting me, and I started getting downloads. Like I was watching a video in this room. This is my daughter's room. I was watching this video in my daughter's room, right, with the light off. And I was watching it with it in my hand. Something just said, close your eyes. I just closed my eyes. Y'all may say this sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, that little voice in your head, it's like you have one that's very, it's one that's your ego, then it's the other one that's like, you better listen to this one, because this is the one that's typically where you're like, dang, something told me to do that, or that's the one you listen to. So I just closed my eyes. Didn't know why I was closing my eyes. Just closed my eyes. And then as I closed my eyes, I started like literally seeing it's almost like everything that was being called out in the video, I started seeing it happen with my eyes closed. And I started seeing him point at this object and point at that object and point at this object. And I could see myself walking around with him in the video in my mind, point at this object and this object and this object and this object. And it got to the point where I would watch it and then I would close my eyes and listen to it. It became so clear that I can remember like colors of the item. Like if the item, let's say for example, the air filter canister. The air filter canister had like a marking on it, or the leaf spring hanger. It had like bolts, and it all looked a certain type of way, right? In the video, and I could see it with my eyes closed while just listening to it. I could see him going from the passenger side straight down to the exhaust, and then from the exhaust, he's going to the gas tank. And then he's going from the gas tank to the actual cap. And then he's leaving from that and then going all the way to the passenger door and going, and we're talking about the battery box. And then we go back from the battery box to the fan and the shroud. And then I can see everything in my mind just replaying. So what are you getting at? How did you manifest it? I manifested it by, one, accepting my reality that I have my CDL in my mind. I stopped being so worried about what do I do? How do I do this? Do I need to take notes? Do I need to write things down? I didn't write nothing down. Nothing at all. And now this is someone I won't say that, but I wasn't mechanically inclined when it came down to knowing parts and knowing what this is and what this does and why it does this. And I didn't know anything under a hood, right? So I didn't write anything down. I just trusted that spirit within and just did exactly what it told me to do. And as I sat down and I listened to it and I listened to it and I listened to it and I played it in my mind, not on the phone. I played it, but I sat the phone down and I closed my eyes. I was actually in this chair and I would just close my eyes and just listen and just envision everything, walking from the passenger side to the driver's side, put the hood back down. I opened the door, and on the driver's side, I talked about the door. Like I talked about everything from all of the axles to the airlines, everything. I walked all the way to the back of the truck. I talked about every single thing. Not talked about, but I seen and envisioned every single thing in there to the point where I'm just driving a car by myself, going to the gym or something like that, and I can literally envision myself doing every single thing beforehand. Now, the way I manifested this thing is by, like I said, I stopped worrying. And then once I stopped worrying and I accepted that I do have this CDL, what ended up happening was I started vibrating on a certain frequency. I started getting downloads. When I say downloads, I started getting mental downloads, things talking to me. Not like, and I don't even consider anyone crazy, because if you have things or people that are talking to you, man, and it's for your benefit, that's not crazy at all. So like things were being told to me. I started getting information in my mind and I just started doing what the information was, basically informing me to do. And I started doing it and then boom, I got my CDL. I got my CDL, man, within 2 weeks. You have to drive on the yard, like doing backing up, parallel parking. Man, my parallel parking was perfect. My offset backing was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like just so perfect because I just let go and I just accepted everything. I got to the point where I became so almost like bored because I knew I had it that I started doing like a 90-degree parking, like a 90-degree backing into a slot. In Idaho, you don't necessarily have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You can do, maybe if you are driving, on your first job and you need to back into a dock or something, you might have to do a 90-degree backup part. But for the sake of testing with the instructor, you have to do an offset. But when it comes to parallel parking and a 90-degree backing, you can do either or. So I chose to do parallel parking. But when I got my CDL on the day of, I didn't even feel like anything. Like when I got it, it wasn't like a celebration, like, yes, let's go. I worked so hard. Like I didn't because I conducted myself as I already had it, to the point I felt like a person that had a CDL. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt so confident that I already had it because I trusted myself and I trusted that voice that was within, and I was doing the things that the voice told me to do. I didn't take no notes. I didn't study. I guess you would say it was a form of studying, but I didn't take notes. I didn't open the CDL manual. I didn't do any of that because I just needed to pass the part, which is getting my CDL, obtaining it. And along the lines of me obtaining it, I will learn everything else I need to learn. So when it comes down to the pre-trip inspection, the NCAB, that's everything you must know as a CDL driver. Now, along the lines of putting chains on your tires when it's in the, the winter time or whatever, you can learn that whenever you with your trainer on your first job or whatever, depending, because those are things you can learn down the road. But we're not worrying about doing things down the road, because if you want to do a one-arm pull-up, you don't start by getting on the damn bar doing one-arm pull-ups. No, you start with the foundation, which is doing a regular pull-up first, understanding the mechanics and the biomechanics of doing a regular pull-up. Once you understand, okay, cool, when I do this, I must retract my scapula and bring my chest to the bar, and then I need to go all the way down in the full range of motion. By doing first a regular pull-up, now I understand the mechanics of doing a one-arm pull-up. It's just an analogy so you guys can understand that, as you need to first understand what's going on with the truck, what to look for before anything. So once you already understand the pre-trip inspection, the in-cab inspection and all that, you good. And then once you get down the line of, okay, cool, what else do I need to learn more about? I need to learn more about, putting chains on tires. I need to learn more about putting alcohol in the airlines so they don't freeze in the wintertime. Just little things like that will be something that you learn down the road. But if you are looking to just get your CDL, I would just encourage you to do exactly what I did. It worked perfectly. Just sit down, listen to the video over and over. If you get some time, listen to it for like maybe an hour out in the morning and an hour before you go to bed. That's all you really need to do. 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour before bed, where you're just listening to it. You're not even sitting there with your eyes open. You might fuck around and fall asleep to it because you're so calm and relaxed that you're just sitting down listening to it, and you just see everything going on to the point where you can get in your car, drive off and go somewhere, and it's like you can just think about it the whole time you're driving, from front to back, in to out. You can even do this shit backwards. And I'm telling you, man, when I got to the point the instructor came, I didn't have that test anxiety of, dang, I need to study this. Let me look over these right quick. Let me watch this video about this, and what's this part? Oh, I hope I don't forget that. I didn't forget nothing, man. And I know for sure that day I was going to pass, because that day I created that, and I said I will pass, and I knew I was going to pass because I possess that power, and what I says goes. Man, look, I was going around the curb, and it started snowing that day. The whole week, everything was fine. It started snowing that day, man. So as I'm driving, left the highway, and I got up to the point where I'm supposed to make a right. Making a right, there's a curve, like a long little curve. You got to slow the truck down or whatnot. Man, tell me why the trailer starts skidding off to the point where the truck wants to roll over. But I controlled the truck and maneuvered it and finessed my way, and we were still safe and sound. My heart wasn't beating fast. I wasn't tripping. Everything was good. And I continued to finish like the rest of the route and go back to the school, and got out. He said, "Congratulations, you passed." And I'm like, in my mind, I could have failed, but that's the ego talking. I'm not listening to the ego. You know what I'm saying? The ego is there to protect me, cool. But hey, man, look, I know who I am now. I know the power that I possess. So I don't need you to get the back seat, put your seatbelt on, and let me control this. I got this. If you guys get anything out of this video, man, just know all you need to learn is the basics just to pass the test. That's it. That's everything you're going to learn in the video that the instructor gives you. Don't worry about overdoing it. Don't worry about trying to figure this out. No, just do exactly what the instructor is telling you to do in the video. Ask him, is this what I'm supposed to do verbatim from the front to the end, to the beginning to the end? he says or she says yes, do that. That's it. That's it. Can we get to the point? That's what I'm saying. The battle with the ego. The ego would be like, oh, maybe I need to figure this out. Maybe. No. Put the ego to the side. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is the only video you need on getting your CDL. Listen to it and listen to it and listen to it to the point where it's like a song that you don't listen to maybe 4 or 5 times. And now you got the hook down. You got the hook down. And now here you go to the point where you got the whole all the bars down. And you understand it to the point where you cut it on. You already know what he or she is going to say before she even says it. You already know how the song is going to end. You already know. So then they get to the point where he or she in the video might say a certain thing. You know what's about to come up next. He or she might say something about the fucking airbags. You know what I'm saying? To talk about the lug nuts and say something in a certain way that you already know what's about to come up next. So then when you get to the point of doing it in front of the instructor, those same things that you remembered about the instructor saying this a certain type of way or doing this a certain type of way, you remember what comes next. All I'm saying, man, just trust your spirit, man. Trust the feeling that you're getting right now watching this video. Because if you didn't trust anything that I was saying, you wouldn't even made it this far to the video, man. But hey, I hope that I said something that, not even hope, I know I said something that helped you guys. And I'm not saying it in a cocky way. It's because I know the power that I possess. And I know the power that you possess because you and I are the same. I am you and you are me. And without any of this understanding of who I am, I don't think I would be able to help anyone at all understand who they are and bring into reality the things that they also desire. So, man, I hope you guys have an amazing one. Love you guys, man. Peace.